Warning, this video is intended for adult collectors. It contains plastic collectibles, questionable opinions, and someone who shouldn't have disposable income. This is not a test. This is a random review.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the TJOmega channel, and welcome back to the review stage. I think it's time we talk about the latest San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. So, and I don't mean the one that came in a cereal box, I mean the one that came in a truly outrageous box that was all holographic, shiny, and pretty. So this is Blaster as a collaborative figure with Gem and the holograms, and displaying the brightest, most 80s color scheme you could possibly imagine. So I thought, we'll take a look at this. Now, there is a lot to this set, because this is a multi-pack. Fortunately, most of them are just rectangles, so we're not going to spend too long talking alt modes. We'll get into the robot modes fast enough. So, as you can see, Blaster has been done up in this fun shade of blue, pink, and off-white, kind of light gray color. And yes, while we acknowledge that this is supposed to be Gem and the holograms, and this is, a very, viciously 80s color scheme, yes, we're taking to calling it Trans Rights Blaster. And if you have an issue with that, or if somehow been offended, you find the back button pretty easily. Yeah, you can just leave now, okay? All right, we're gonna stay here, have fun, and, not be judgmental. So, now that the riffraff is gone, let's actually enjoy the fact that this is about as loud as I've ever seen Blaster, and that's saying something. What I really like is that there's a sparkle to its plastic. I didn't expect that. There's actual metallic flake to it, and very noticeable at that. It's not even subtle, and I love that. It is definitely adding to this could very well be a girl's toy boombox. Now, as a boombox, it is pretty much what you see as advertised. You got the sculpted buttons and knobs all across the front. You've got the speakers here in the front as well as on the sides. And then, a bunch of folded up robot on the back. We ignore that. We choose to ignore that. You do get a handle if your fingers are about half an inch thin and can fit underneath the handle. Beyond that, all you really have in this mode, aside from the Evo Fusion ports in the back, and I guess on the side as well, you have the opening door, which does still work, spring-loaded just like every Blaster should be, and inside we do have one cassette ready to go. Boom. And this one just happens to be Glit. So, I'm going to go through the cassettes really quickly because, frankly, yes, they're rectangles, so we're not exactly going to get complex toys out of this. But suffice to say, we can actually just go over them and demonstrate how they came out. So, yeah, this one, the Ravage mold has always been, weird to me. The new, 86 Ravage. I should mention, these molds are based on the ones that came with 86 Soundwave. So they do have a lot of the new styles and shapes to them. I can never quite remember how to get his spine to line up the way it is supposed to. For him, he's all needs separate accessories. So we're going to go ahead and take this and attach his little rocket pack in the back. It does have a 5mm peg, so you can just store it on Blaster on the back. But it is in that new vein of the cassettes are so small we have to take some of the beast mode bits off and put it on later, which is unfortunate, but hey, it's what we get for the size of things these days. So Glit himself looking pretty nice. I like that the packaging still refers to Glit as a Decepticon because technically, yeah, they are. And that is largely because they are such a good medical officer. They don't let anyone on the battlefield die. Anyone. Autobot or Decepticon. So, eventually falls into the Autobots because, frankly, too good at their job. And it's not bad. You have the 4 points of articulation here where the elbows and knees would be. You do have the waist and the torso, which can flex and bend to your taste. You can also move these arms outward a little bit if you so choose. So yeah, cute little white Ravage. Now, taking a look at some of the others, let's take a look at Sundor. Bright orange, little bit of gold here. I really like the airbrushing for the gold. That's actually a neat little touch. Again, it's 86 laser beak repainted, so we'll go ahead and quickly transform. Flip that out. Now, laser beak, or I guess Sundor in this case, also needs additional parts. There's 3mm pegs that will connect this on. Not the tightest of fits, but then again, when the pegs are that tight or that small, I don't want it to be super tight. Super vibrant, very, very blatant and obvious here. Now, Sundor also a Decepticon, so and also exceptionally vain, if I remember the characterization correctly. Literally thinks they're the sun. But I do like these super, like, fiery colors on the mold. It gives it, like, this Phoenix vibe that I really, really like. And yeah, it's just nice to see these, like, super obscure figures get a second run as modern toys, even if it is a weird way of doing it. No real play value to this mode. Like, the hinges only go one direction, and that's for transformation. So all you can really do is put the wings down. That's basically it. So yeah, not a whole lot that Sundor can do. And that moves us on to potentially the most popular of the batch, which is Rosana. Okay, and again, this one is probably the only one that looks like solidly like a cassette because of the extra holes in the right spots. But also, simple transformation on this one as well. Yank the feet down, yank the arms down, twist around, and then we go to the back and flip up the head if I have enough of a thumbnail left to do it. I just trimmed my nails. Was this a mistake? Uh-oh. This might have been a mistake. Okay, can I get just enough grip on the ball joint? There we go. And Rosana is also just really fun to have a brand new figure of. I like how the packaging actually does acknowledge the KISS player past without directly mentioning it. They're all labeled as KP. We know. So, Rosana's weapons come with this little block that connects the two together into a double pistol that a larger figure like Blaster could hold. But we can also use that block later on, and I'll show you how then. But Rosana is supposed to be using these as forearm guns, as all of Blaster's robotic cassettes tend to do. So there we go. That's the proper look. Really nice to see her back on her feet. Love to see it. And this one, yeah, this one actually does have a pretty robust bit of articulation thanks to the transformation. We do have a ball-jointed neck, which does have some upper range because of the hinge. Now, we have universal shoulders. We have ball joints in the elbows. Full range there. And then we have universal hips as well as ball joints in the knees. So you get swivel as well as bend. So, yeah, lots of playability. Like, surprisingly posable Rosana. Ready to save the universe once again. Yeah, this is fun. Like, keep in mind, these three came from the nice section of KISS players after they got rid of the problematic elements and just became a pop idol group. Hence why they're in the Gem and the Holograms crossover. So, I will give them at least credit for coming from the okay portion of KISS players. They're just innocent repaints. They didn't hurt anybody. But, with those cleared out of the way, we need to return to Blaster himself and get him transformed into robot mode. So, go ahead and split the handle like so, and then just crack the sides off. They are tabbed in here, so you might want to take these flaps and pull forward a little bit to make sure they untab correctly. That gets it out a lot smoother. Go ahead and rotate all this down. Keep hitting the switch with your thumb as you do this. Very important to the transformation. Go ahead and rotate that around. Just going to rotate the legs into the proper orientation before we go back here and start transforming things together. Fold these panels in to give yourself plenty of room in the knees. Fold these panels up. Make sure they clip into the sides on the 5mm pegs. Close all those up and then back to the front so we can get the feet out. Once again, are my clipped nails going to be the death of me? Ooh, that's actually it's a little bit tighter than I expected. Hang on. Ooh. Okay. Thankfully, 5mm joints means I can actually just do that. Okay, save my thumbs a little bit there. Okay, unfold the arms like so. And then fold the hands out so the arms are nice and straight. Go ahead and rotate them forwards so that the elbows are facing the camera that you have set up in front of yourself. And with that, go into the back, open up the panel, go ahead and flip the head out. Go ahead and flip the head out. Go ahead and flip the head out. Go ahead and flip. First try. And that is going to be your blaster. So yeah, not a bad transformation considering, you know, it's a square turning into a man made of squares. You know, is it truly outrageous? I don't think it is. But you know what? It's not a bad transformation. It's still fun to kind of mess with. And yeah, the colors are just blazing here, aren't they? You know what I love in the robot mode? I love the asymmetry. I like the different number of stars on each arm. I like one sleeve being pink. We're pushing the glam rock. We're pushing it as hard as we can here. You know, and of course, you know, a little bit clearly seen now, the gem star is both on the Autobot logo as well as on the chest, as well as on Blaster's cheek. And I do like Blaster's expression here. They've actually made sure his face has like a much happier expression than some of the Blaster toys I've gotten recently. And then, yeah, that extends all the way down. He just looks super bright and happy everywhere. Which reminds me, I never remember to flip the speakers. That's my sin. So, it's essentially, you know, the same Blaster figure we've gotten since Kingdom. But man, it is like the most vibrant of colors I have ever seen on a Transformer. Like, glaringly so. Okay, so, yeah, not a whole lot to really discuss. You've probably seen the mold by now. The sculpt is pretty nice, though here it ignores a lot of Blaster's details in favor of going for the homage as strongly as possible. I do like how a lot of the darker and more like poppy colors, like a majority of the blue and that darker pink, are contained to his legs, like he is wearing like extremely flashy rocker pants. It's a nice little color arrangement. So, we go into the articulation rundown. Trying to go very quickly if you couldn't tell, because again, it's all repaint stuff. You've seen most of this. I don't have to go over every detail. We're just showing off just the fact that this toy still holds up pretty good. So, ball jointed neck has up and down motion as well as 360 degrees all around. Universal shoulders, plenty of range there. For those concerned about hollowness, there you go. Bicep rotation, 360 degrees, a little bit beyond the 90 for the elbow, nothing in the wrist. The waist joint is above all that paneling for the back. Yes, the thighs are hollow for those that care. So yeah, you have a nice 360 degree waist. You have full universal hips. The thighs have a full swivel on them as well. Knees, 90 degrees. Ankles tilting inward, and then yeah, of course you can flip the foot up as well. That comes in handy. Now, given the fact that this is a performer rather than a fighter, I don't necessarily expect to get a whole lot of action poses out of this particular blaster. So really, what we're more concerned with is how characterful he can be. Now that said, he does have plenty of accessories. His traditional rifle is included. It's done up completely in blue this time. Looks fine, and you get more 5mm ports if you hold it, because there's one on each side, which is my cue to show you, yeah, on the shoulders, on the forearm, here on the side of the shin, and then, of course, the 3 in the back. It's giving you 9, or if you're holding the gun, 11 ports to work with. So, yeah, if you've got any kind of Izers lying around, or if you have like all of these little like accessory weapons like Rosana has, and you have that like convenient little block that's left over, you can actually armor up this blaster really, really well. What about an additional? How about this? We have the electric guitar. And the electric guitar is already a pretty cool design. It's done in the same sparkly pink plastic, but it's also got this Autobot logo going on. in bright blue, like maybe a little homage to the Wreckers there. Now, the weird part about this is the toy itself was never designed to hold a guitar, so there's only so much they could do. So in order to hold this, I have to rotate the arm like this and not bend the elbow, bend the transformation joint. Hang on. If I can actually get it to, like, unlock. There we go. So I have to bend the arm at the transformation joint, and that will let that long tab slide into the forearm and hold itself in place like that. And then the finger to actually, like, use to, like, unlock his cassettes from his waist is now supposed to be the one, like, strumming the guitar. So that's the illusion here. That's the illusion they're going for to get it to look like Blaster is holding and playing a guitar. It's not the best. We acknowledge it's not the best, but considering the toy has no capability of holding it properly, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and a little bit of credit here. If you do just want him to just be like, I don't know, like, just kind of like, just kind of doing gigs on the side, just kind of traveling with his guitar. There is a peg so it can peg onto his back, so he can just be a wandering vagabond with his instrument. But that said, we have more that we can do. We're not done. Oh, we're never done. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to knock that down a couple notches. Make sure that's connected that way. Now I've created a laser rifle, or have I? Keytar. Keytar's here now. Now, for starters, this is designed specifically to actually, be used as a weapon. You can see, like, there is actually a blaster nozzle there at the tip. So a laser firing keytar is the single most 80s thing you could possibly have. But I do think it's a cool transformation trick to get both instruments into the same accessory without too much complicated engineering. That said, once again, he's not really designed to hold on to this. So, I don't know. This is not the best of. Okay, we're trying. We're trying here. Yeah, if it's hard enough to get him to hold a guitar and look like he's actually playing it, getting him to hold an instrument, even harder. That said, if you don't want him playing in the band, you also have a microphone accessory, silver top, pink overall, so you can just have him just being the one at the lead singer position, which I think is probably more suited to this crossover in the first place. So you can do that. Or we go one step further. So we'll have him pretending to play an instrument. And then we bring in the backup band over here. And then we bring in the actual star. So we dismantle one of the guns from Rosana. I am going to plug that extra block into her forearm. I am then going to attach the microphone. And now, as intended, Rosana can be the lead singer. And then, you can have Blaster playing, lead guitar, bass, whatever you want. But essentially, yes, there's little tricks you can do to get Rosana to be the lead here. Because I know some of you are going to want that. But all of that said, that is Studio Series. What do we call this? I guess just San Diego Comic-Con, collaborative Gem and the Holograms Blaster with the Kiss players. I don't think that's going to fit in the title of this video. But no, this is a really, really fun set with some really obscure homages that I'm really shocked got brand new toys for various reasons. It's fun. It's a very vibrant Blaster. It suits Gem and the Holograms, and it suits the character. This is a really, really fun multi-pack with a ton of stuff to do. If you were lucky enough to grab it after San Diego Comic-Con or during San Diego Comic-Con, you got one of my favorite box sets they've ever done. Like, genuinely, this is a lot of really cool things to throw in all at once. As far as if it's worth it on the aftermarket, well, that's what these videos are for. Let you decide. Does it look worth it to you? Because that's all that matters here, not my opinion on whether it is or not. So, all that said, I am going to leave it there. Fantastic San Diego Comic-Con box. But thank you all for watching. I will see you next time. Hello everyone, I am Astral Agent Magnetar, a Tokusatsu VTuber, and I am streaming 4 times a week over on Twitch, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday afternoons, and a special late night one on late Friday/early Saturday. So come watch, come hang out, and let's make an impact together.